Hello, everyone. Today we're going to be talking about the VA Loan Masterclass, and I promise you, if you stay to the end of this video, you will understand how to use the VA loan and why it is important. Today we're going to be talking about unlocking your military home ownership benefits. Learn how to buy a home with zero down and maximize your VA loan. Who am I? My name is Randy Mbuge, licensed real estate advisor specializing in residential and commercial real estate. 6 years served in the U.S. Army Reserve. I finished as a sergeant in the Army, published author of 4 books. The reason why I show this slide is so that you know that I have served, I have given back to my country, and it just serves as proof. I feel like a lot of people talk about how they've served, yet I just want to be able to show you that I was in the uniform. And also, this book, 2,400 Years of Service, was created while I was in Kuwait for 9 months, boots on ground, and I did over 240 interviews in person. So, what you'll learn today: how to qualify for a $0 down VA home loan, common VA loan myths and how to avoid them, the step by step process to buying a home with your VA loan, and how to use your VA loan multiple times. Let's get started on your journey to home ownership. So, what exactly is the VA loan? I feel like there's a lot of information online about the VA loan, yet let's actually learn what exactly it is. So, the VA loan is a mortgage backed by the US Department of Veteran Affairs that helps service members, veterans, and eligible spouses buy a home with no down payment. So, a few benefits of the VA loan are no down payment, which means that you can buy a home without spending thousands of dollars. No PMI, which is private mortgage insurance. This will save you hundreds of dollars per month. So you have also competitive interest rates, typically lower than FHA and conventional loans. Now, this is also dependent upon the lender that you use and the benefits that that lender provides. And also, we have flexible credit requirements, so easier approval for military members. So closing costs still apply. And the reason why I put an asterisk by this is because some service members believe that, oh, with the VA loan, that there's no money that they'll bring to closing at all. And I'm here to tell you that that is not entirely true. So closing costs still apply, roughly about 2 to 4% of the total sales price of the home. So if you qualify, the VA loan is by far one of the best mortgage options available. So who qualifies for a VA loan? Eligibility requirements are active duty, 90 plus days of consecutive service. The reason why we say consecutive is because, let's say, for example, you're in the reserves and your command team tells you, hey, we're going to put you on orders for 100 days. Yet, if every 30 or 35 days they are cutting your orders and creating new ones, it's hard to say that you have 90 consecutive days of service. Next, veterans, honorable discharge with required service time, National Guard / reserves, 6+ years or 90 days active service. And lastly, spouses, surviving spouses of service members who died in the line of duty. You're able to check your VA loan eligibility at va.gov/housing assistance. So now we're going to talk about VA loan myths debunked. There are a lot of myths, I believe, that are online or that are, sometimes gurus are talking about. And I just want to go through a few of them just so that you have some context around the VA loan. So, myth number one: VA loans take forever to close. The fact is, VA loans close just as fast as conventional loans, sometimes 30 days, 30 to 45 days, 30 to 60 days. It just depends on how every team within the transaction is communicating and working through your loan, working through the process of you purchasing. Myth number two: sellers won't accept VA loan offers. This isn't true. VA buyers are just as strong, if not stronger, than other buyers. This also goes back to education. So when the listing agent or the seller's agent is talking to their client, how are they telling them about the VA loan? How are they explaining the VA loan to them? Lastly, you can use your VA loan only once. That isn't true. You can use your VA loan multiple times throughout your life. So please do not let misinformation hold you back from home ownership. And also, before we get into the step-by-step VA loan process, I really do want you to know that it is important for you to do your own due diligence. It is important for you to do your own research regarding the VA loan so that you feel as comfortable as possible as you're going through the purchasing process. Now, the the step-by-step VA loan process. Step 1, get your certificate of eligibility. Step 2, get pre-approved by a VA-approved lender. Step 3, find a military-friendly real estate agent. Step 4 is house hunting and making an offer. Step 5, VA appraisal with home and termite inspection. Step 6, loan approval and closing day. Each step brings you closer to owning your dream home. How to get your VA loan certificate of eligibility. The first step is you can go online, apply at va.gov/housing assistance. The next way is through your lender. Most VA approved lenders can pull your certificate of eligibility for you, which is very helpful. And lastly is by mail. You can fill out VA form 26-1880 and mail it to the VA. Now, one thing that we must be clear about is that when you look to mail something to the VA, understand that it could take a very, very long time. It is the military still, so let's just be mindful of that. Get your certificate of eligibility now. It is the first step to home ownership. Finding a military-friendly real estate agent. The reason why you need a VA-savvy agent. They understand VA loan guidelines. This is very important because I know that online you may hear stories about how you can use more than 4% of you can get 4% of the total closing costs, which is true. You also want to understand that you can get even more than that, and how it is positioned within the transaction is very important, which is why you want a VA savvy agent. Next, they help you find VA approved homes. Remember how we talked about earlier, how if a listing agent is not informing their seller about how strong VA loans are, they may not look to use a VA loan for their transaction. So the seller is saying, I don't necessarily want that type of loan, or that's not my preferred loan for the deal. And that's why it's important to also have VA approved homes. And lastly, they can negotiate closing costs. This is very important because let's say, for example, you come to me and you say, Randy, I only have $5,000. I only have $5,000 to put down on my house. This is important because what I'll then have to do, or what an agent in your city will have to do, is help you work through the process to where you may not have to bring your whole entire $5,000 to closing. Like earlier this year, had a client close with less than $3,000. So it's possible. Next, the VA loan appraisal process. We're going to talk about VA loan appraisal versus home inspection. VA appraisal confirms the home meets VA standards, which is market value and minimum property requirements, also known as MPRs. This is for safety, sanitation, and structural soundness. Next, you need to understand the home inspection. This checks for hidden problems, roof, foundation, termites, etc. With a home inspection, I want you to also understand that if some things are cosmetic, they are simply that. They are cosmetic. And so they're not a deal breaker for you. I suggest you still move forward with the home. And of course, if it's something that is a non-negotiable for you and you don't feel comfortable with it, don't move forward with the house. So most real estate professionals will provide you with 2 to 3 home inspectors. Also, a home and termite inspection will cost around $400 to $750. I want you to also understand this may also be state specific. That's one criteria that may change the price of the home and termite inspection. And also consider the fact that if you are in a very hot market and there are a lot of people purchasing real estate, some home and termite inspection companies may look to increase their prices because they understand that a lot of people are purchasing a home. Please don't get mad at the game. It's business. Understanding the VA loan process is key to closing smoothly. Can you use a VA loan more than once? Like we talked about, the answer is yes. You can use your VA loan multiple times. If you're buying another home, you just need to restore your VA loan entitlement. Want to keep your current home, you just need to use a second tier entitlement. Lastly, moving due to PCS, you can rent out your current home and buy another. What I like to tell service members is that when you're looking to rent out your current home, there's two things that you want to make sure you are doing. The first one is you're documenting the lease. That's that's step number one. Step number two is make sure that there's another aspect of documentation within where the money is going. And you want both of these. The VA loan offers flexibility. You want to make sure you take advantage of it. So now we're going to talk about next steps and how to get started. A recap of what you've learned, how VA loans work and who qualifies, step-by-step home buying process, using your VA loan multiple times. If you want to start your home search, you can schedule a free VA home strategy session today. Once again, it doesn't matter what state that you are in, me and my team can help you. Here's my contact information. If you text me, I promise you I'll respond. Just make sure that it's not spamish. Just make sure it's legit. Here's my email as well. The city that I live in, that I'm based in, is Houston, yet also understand that me and my team can help you in all 50 states. Another thing that I want you to consider and factor in with the VA loan is that you need to feel comfortable about the process. You want to make sure that you are putting yourself in the best position possible to maximize your benefits. And home ownership is one of those things. Do not allow someone to tell you that it's better to rent and you're a service member who hasn't even used the VA loan. Understand that you earned it. You served your contract. You served honorably. So now, only thing I'm asking you to do is use your benefits that are allotted to you. This isn't something that you didn't work for. This isn't something that you didn't sacrifice for, right? So I'm very passionate about teaching service members about money, about the VA loan, so that we have more service members that are informed, and we have more service members who are able to work hard and maximize the benefits they've already earned. So thank you so much for your time and attention, and I promise you there's more to come. Until next time.